All right, so
our first visitor.
I know, I love it.
Company.
I love it. This is incredible. So 19 cable networks, HGTV, my favorite, Discovery, TLC, Food Network, rebranded the global leader in real-life entertainment, and you've stressed non-scripted global IP ownership. I like your bet. I like your bet because it's my bet. But talk me through global IP ownership and this whole non-scripted focus.
Okay, so there's really two elements right now to our strategy. One is that we own all of our content globally on all platforms. The only exception to that is Eurosport, where we own all of Europe. But, you know, as opposed to a lot of the other sports players in the marketplace, when we buy IP, whether it's the Olympics or tennis or cycling or winter sports, we buy it for all platforms. Mm-hmm. So we're IP long. And we really think as the ecosystem is able to, as people are consuming content on more platforms, that what you'll see over the next couple of years is a healthy traditional ecosystem, but we'll resell that IP onto the different devices. We might be selling it to Facebook, to Amazon, to Apple, to the mobile players. So owning our IP globally, and even the chance to do a deal with a Facebook, an Amazon, a Google, and we're one of the few companies that we may be the largest owner of IP after this deal, and we can drive it everywhere in the world, in every language.
And let's talk about this real life unscripted thing. I liked your comment in the Wall Street Journal. You had a little dig there. You said we look at that side, the expensive scripted, and say good luck with that. That's not what we do. We don't do red carpet. You don't do Netflix and Amazon, right?
Well, look, I think that the industry used to be one ecosystem, and it's kind of broken into two. So on the right side is scripted movies and scripted series. And the companies on that side are exceptional companies, and they're doing a great job. It's just that there's a tremendous amount of disruption and competition. So at the traditional level, you've gone from 200 scripted series to 520 over the last 3 to 4 years. But the disruption really comes from the fact that Netflix and Amazon have come into the market with a lot of scale, global scale, and they're valued differently. So media is valued at a multiple on free cash flow, or EBITDA, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the way that Amazon and Netflix their multiple is dramatic, triple digit.
Yep.
And so they could afford to spend a lot more money as long as they continue to grow Prime or continue to grow subscribers. So you see right now 8 and 6 billion, 14 billion on top of scripted movie and that piece of the marketplace and scripted series. That's causing a real disruptive disaggregation. When you see Rupert raising his hand on a fantastic asset like 21st Century Fox, I'm also on the board of Lionsgate. It just says to me, and Lionsgate is a great, great company, that marketplace is tightening. There's more people bidding for the movies, more people bidding for the series. The cost of the content is going up. So when we look at that side, we say there's a lot of great competition there. It's going to get more and more aggressive. We're just glad we're not there because there's less controls on that side.
Yes, and what does it mean that you're going to be independent? I mean, Dr. Malone, talking to Faber a few weeks back, he said with the Scripps deal, we're much closer to the gravitational center of non-sports, independent content guys. And so, I think we have a good shot. That's what he said. What does it mean to be independent and in a separately focused area from all these conglomerated players?
Well, I mean, figuratively, we see the marketplace as like a soccer field. And if you go to your kid's soccer game, everyone's around the ball if they're 10 or 12 years old. Everyone's around the ball. That's the scripted series and scripted movie piece of our business. We own the majority of the rest of the field everywhere in the world for all devices. And so we really like our hand because we're different. The other thing is that the content that works, the fight here, the reason that media is under pressure in terms of terminal value is not because there's a question of the long-term value of IP. People are consuming more content than they ever have. The real question is, aside from the traditional ecosystem, who's going to be dominant or who's going to have a strong seat at the table when it comes to content that's consumed on all these other platforms? And as we look at it, we've been at it for a long time with sports in Europe, direct to consumer. The kind of content that people consume on other devices, The Crown is a fantastic series.
Yeah, but you're not going to watch it
But
on
I don't
your
think
phone.
someone's going to watch that on their phone.
Yeah.
We have content that's functional. We have content that relates to an affinity group that's a super fan that loves it. People love science, so people love food.
People love tiny
They love
houses.
cooking. They love homes.
Yeah.
And so And we also do our content in long form and short form. We're the leader with Group 9 in short form content.
Yep.
On Facebook, we do over 8 billion streams a month. So we have a whole menu of content in the area of cars. Oprah, #1 for African American women here in the U.S., but an iconic figure around the world. Food, cooking, HG, discoveries about curiosity. We own crime almost everywhere in the world with ID. So we really like this idea that the other side is a big movie that you have to open with marketing, or a big series that you have to get everybody excited about again. But you say anywhere in the world, discovery, and people say, you know, I love that. That's the thing I really want to. That's the thing that really matters to me. Or HG or food.
I like the soccer field metaphor. So you're in your spot in the soccer field, right? You are now going to have
most of the rest of the field.
Okay, fine. So you're going to have 20% share of advertising-supported paid television in the U.S.
If you think about this, on a Tuesday night in the U.S., say on the Oprah Winfrey Network, let's say we're getting a 2. On HG and food, maybe we're getting between a 0.8 and a 1. On TLC, we're getting a 1. On ID, we're getting a 1.5.
Right.
You add it all up, we got a 6.
And my number is that's 20% share of women watching prime time.
That's the aggregate. At any time, there's more than 20% of people watching one of our 18 channels. But from a scale perspective, the ability to sell across we have 5 top networks for women, but then we have others like travel. If you add up all of our networks that lean female, you know, on any given night in prime, it's a 4, it's a 5, it's a 6, it's a 7 rating. And it has all these different affinity groups, which is compelling in the sense that as we go to the upfront, we have, not only can we do one ad across all those channels and deliver a 5 or a 6, which a broadcaster can't do, but we have viewers that are passionate and engaged with our brands. So for instance, ID, food, and HG have the longest length of view of any cable network for women on TV, because people love those. The people that are watching it, it's their favorite channel. For African American women, it's own. So to be able to go to advertisers and say, yes, we're more than 20% of viewership, but we have the ability to move audiences between our brands, but we also have an ability to aggregate them, you know, which I think it's really valuable traditionally in terms of revenue opportunity. The bigger play for us is taking that IP. Scripps never took their IP around the world.
Right.
We roll it out globally, but we're really in the business of taking that IP and getting it in everybody's hand. Every lover of food, every lover of discovery should be able to consume some of our content on any platform anywhere in the world, and that's our advantage.
And the Wall Street Journal article that covered the merger led with your notion of a direct-to-consumer Discovery Scripps bundle, which would basically, if you think about getting dramas and comedies from Netflix, news from somebody else, then you get all of your other entertainment from that bundle, and you want to price it the way that it's been priced in Europe, you know, mid to low single digits.
I think the best way for us to play in the U.S. would be the way it works everywhere else in the world, which is that there's an entry-level skinny bundle that's $10, $15, $20. Because and what we see almost everywhere in the world is we see a pretty steady, not a big growth, but a pretty steady media marketplace. And in a few markets, we still see some meaningful growth. What you're seeing here in the U.S., this decline of about 3% of subscribers, it's because when my son graduates from college, he's going to get broadband.
Right.
You get broadband, it's more important than dinner. But cable used to be a lot more important. It's more important everywhere else in the world than it is here, because if you could get it for $20, you're like, I'll take that. If it's $100 or $80, you're like, it's too. So because it's overstuffed, it's the only market in the world where all of the sports is in there and there's retrans. And so it's just too heavy of a package. So the discussion that I was having, this idea of offering a global direct-to-consumer product, we're the only company that could do it. We would probably do it with others. We would add some other content that would make us more compelling, or we'd add a partner that would make us more compelling. We have that ability to do it. We're also trying to really drive the marketplace so that the marketplace creates these skinny bundles, because we've seen them. In Brazil, there's a skinny bundle, 20 channels, and we have 6 of them. The viewership of our channels on that skinny bundle went way up. And even though we had 12 channels, we said, we'll do it. You can carry just 6 of ours. So we think the skinny bundle could really help the ecosystem here in the
take
U.S.
your son graduating from college. He gets broadband. He maybe gets Netflix or Amazon, and then he potentially gets, assuming he's not your son, he gets this new.
He's getting cable because I'm making him get cable.
But maybe he gets this new Discovery bundle, which has the food and the lifestyle and the cars and all that stuff.
Look,
in that future
what we
vision.
have conceptually now is we're different. We have big scale. We have most of the quality brands in America. We have most of the quality brands that people know and love around the world. So if we aggregate those, we can aggregate those with the existing distributors. We can work with them on skinny bundles, which is the best way to do it. We can decide on our own to say, let's offer this globally, or we can decide with others to say, let's do this in the U.S., let's do this in Europe. It just gives us great optionality.
Yep.
Ultimately, we have to be on those 2 billion screens. We have to be on all devices. That's our ambition.
They're telling me I got to wrap, but I got to ask the question that's on everybody's mind, okay? How many vests do you have? What is the story with the vests?
You can notice doesn't say Discovery.
I know, but
so I paid for this
your
vest.
comms people tell me that it's been covered, but look, I follow you extensively. I've not heard the story about the vest. What's with the vest?
It's very warm for the core. You can put you got pockets to put your glasses, you put your phone, you put all your
Chargers,
stuff. Yeah. And here's the key. It's a slimming garment.
It's a slimming garment.
It's a slimming garment. That's it.
I
put it on and people say, you lost weight.
Do you have any brands that could sell a vest? I mean, I'm trying to think. You don't. I mean, maybe TLC could do a vest.
No. But Malone has QVC, and they sell a lot of vests.
There should be a Zaz vest. All right. David Zaslav, a pleasure to be here in the Food Network kitchens on the first day of the merger. Thank you for joining us.
Slimming garment.
I have vests. I'm not as many as you, but I have vests. A pleasure. Thank you so much, David.
Good to see you.
Back to you guys at the stock exchange.